Focus. There we go. I would like to start this video off by first of all saying, Happy New Year! Yay! Pretty incredible to think that we have just gone through yet another entire year. It seems like as I'm getting older, time just keeps going faster, 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 faster. I just wanted to do a different video this week since it is the new year and kind of take a look back on what 2020 had to offer. And you know, being the weird and strange and in many cases scary year that it was, I think it's always important to at the end of the year go back and kind of relive the highlights of your year and look back on each month and see, you know, how many great moments you had to reminisce on. And I know everybody's got them, and it's just something that I think is really cool to do and look back on and remember good memories. And luckily, me being a filmer, I have a lot of my life filmed, and I figured I'd kind of draw out what my 2020 looks like, and we can relive what an incredible year that it was, even though there was a lot of uncertainty throughout it, and even though it was a year that was a very challenging one for myself and you know, the whole world really. Without any further ado, let's grab this and take a look at JL's 2020. So starting off my year, we have obviously it being in January, where I kick everything off in Japan with me and the JOB Vlogs crew, and everybody is living life normally. We're in Tokyo City running around. I'm with Justin capturing time lapses. It's my second time back in Japan and one of my favorite places on earth, and I was so psyched to be back there. I got back on skis after living the entire year in Hawaii and surfing pretty much the whole year. It was such a great start to the year, and then all of a sudden, I'll never forget it, I was sitting in my hotel room all alone editing one of the JOB vlogs when I'm on Instagram scrolling, and it was a massive alert for the new coronavirus pandemic. And there were, I don't know if any of you remember, but videos of people falling in the streets, tweaking out, and made it look like a zombie apocalypse had just hit Earth, and it was being shared all over the place. I was terrified. I texted the whole crew, told them, get back here, we might have to get out of Japan ASAP, this is crazy. And this is when it was a new thing and no one really knew what was going on. And next thing you know, we wrap the trip up, we head back home to Hawaii, and boom, then February. Brazil was one of the craziest trips I had ever been on in my life. I'll never forget being a little kid telling my parents, well, my top bucket list destination is Rio de Janeiro. Rio was everything I could have ever imagined. Beautiful skyscrapers, incredible mountains, the ocean is gorgeous, Brazil as a country as a whole is insane, and next thing you know, I'm chilling with the world's best surfer, and he's becoming our friend. Italo is the man, he took us under his wing. We just had the time of our lives. Yet again, you know, 2 trips back to back, kicking off 2020. Was a pretty wild ride, and of course with the virus kind of unraveling by this time, we still weren't really sure what was going on. It was before everything got super bad, but the memories of Brazil were just unbelievable. Roaming in the back of Italo's truck through incredible towns, drifting on the dune buggies. It was just Brazil at its core, at its finest, and an experience that probably I would never be able to have unless, you know, I knew somebody like Jamie who knew someone like Italo. So boom, Brazil wraps up, trip ends, we land in Hawaii, and the very next day, we build the slip and slide of freaking dreams, or nightmares, whatever you want to call it. And I had to guinea pig the thing.
A few knees probably, huh?
Oh, you get launched if you do the knees.
What do you think?
But when he starts taking off, you might slip.
What do you think? Stomach or knees?
I would just go stomach first time. He's definitely ready. Here he comes. Oh my God!
I'll never forget how gnarly of a day that was and how much fun we had. Massive highlight of the year was hitting that slip and slide booter. After March wraps up, we come into April and May, where it's spring in Hawaii. And to this day, it's my favorite time of the year to be in Oahu. The waves were perfect Jackson size, super clean, glassy every single day. I was just surfing my heart out, you know, just living in the ocean every day and loving it. After enjoying springtime, we were in that transition month heading into summer where June hits, and next thing you know, we're on a flight to California. Yeah, it felt really good to be back in the States, back on the mainland for a bit. It was such an unreal trip, starting on that river wave, meeting up with Ben Gravy, learning to surf on potentially the most high performance river wave there is, and then wrapping that up and jumping straight to California, where I worked along and became friends with idols of mine like Casey Neistat, and just created incredible content. And we worked so hard, and we surfed some of the world's best wave pools. Went to Kelly Slater's wave pool. We went to, the Palm Springs wave pool, where my quest for the barrel was sought after but never accomplished. And yeah, it was just a trip that I'll never forget, and loaded with experiences and memories that are going to be with me forever. Next thing you know, I'm on a ticket home, and it's July now. Halfway through the trip, I actually left the crew for a little bit and went home back to Hood River for a month. Spent the 4th there with all my friends and family. I kited every single day and had a super good breakaway from this job I had been working for the last year, and got to rejoice with friends and family and spend a good month in a place that I call home, doing things that I love with some of my best friends in the world. And then came August. August was slow. It was summer vibes in Hawaii, peaceful every single day. And that's when I decided to launch my YouTube channel seriously, posting weekly every single Friday. And obviously that has been a massive milestone for me, and an incredible memory and experience, and something I'm super proud of and happy that I started. And next came September. Next thing you know, it's still summertime vibes in Hawaii. Things are slow, but I spent a lot of time in the ocean and was having a lot of fun shooting with my Sea Frogs housing in my GH5, and I finally tracked down a shot of dreams. Not only did I score dolphins, but I also scored an eagle ray. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal, and I got a shot that I'll never forget.
Take it real slow. Work it out in numbers. Work it as you go.
And then comes October, where just before the swell arrives to the North Shore, I actually learned how to scuba dive.
Okay, check it out. All suited up.
Way back in October, I learned to scuba dive with Tina, and that's something I had always wanted to do. An incredible experience. I highly recommend it to anyone and everyone. Yeah, it's incredible how much life and how busy the underwater world is when you have time to breathe and take it all in. After learning to scuba dive, we hit November. The waves are officially here on the North Shore. I'm surfing a bunch, we're filming a bunch, we're getting busier and busier, and next thing you know, my YouTube channel is going places, going big. A video I made long ago called Chapter 3, This Decision Changed My Life, hit 100,000 views on YouTube after living at 7,000 views for the last 2 years. It got a spike, and it was being shown to hundreds of thousands of people. And that video ramped me in subscribers, jumped me up to 10,000. And when you hit 10,000 subs or followers on any social media platform, in the sense of a business, it's always a big milestone, showing you're headed in the right direction and things are going good. And it was something worth celebrating, and for sure something I'll never forget.
Here's that champagne.
So last but most definitely not least, we have December, and this has arguably been my favorite and best month of the entire year. I've spent the entire month here in Oahu, and at the start of the month, I got barreled, which was a life mission of mine ever since I started surfing, especially ever since I moved to the North Shore with Jamie. So a big shout out to him for helping make that dream possible, and to Wade DeCoro for shaping me beautiful boards. I've never owned nice surfboards in my life. And shortly after, I turned 22 years old, and then next thing you know, I'm hanging out with my friends every single day, and we're just creating the best, most amazing memories and having such good times. And this place is just starting to feel more and more and more like home. And when you move anywhere new, it's just, it's hard to make true and real connections, you know, quickly. It takes time. And finally, within these last few months, I feel like I've created friends out here and a good circle of people that will be with me for the rest of my life. And it's starting to feel more and more like home, and a place that will certainly be in my heart forever. So with that all being said, looking back on my entire year as a whole, I am so blessed and I have so much gratitude for everything I've been able to experience, from traveling to just surfing and the mellow, timeless days with friends and family here in Oahu, and being able to spend time back home. There's so much to be grateful for, even in a time of, you know, even in such a weird year, with there being the coronavirus pandemic and all sorts of things that were thrown at us month after month. But I think it's really important to look back on your year, realize where your highlights lie, and realize that even in times of sorrow and darkness, there's always a little light to be pulled. And there's especially always a time when the sun will rise again. Even though we are in a pandemic, even though we are in a weird time and we're not sure when it's ever gonna end, I think we're gonna come out more grateful and positive than we as a human being has ever been before. Because back when we used to go to the bar or hang out on the beach or be with a bunch of people in a house, back when that was normal, we just took it for granted. And now when life goes back to the way that it was, I think we're all gonna realize how good we had it and how good the world really is. And I feel like we've all been brought much closer together as we've all gone through the same struggles. So I hope you have an incredible 2021 ahead of you. I wish you all a very happy new year. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, look back on that year of yours and remember the highlights to 2021.